Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This video will be a continuation of a series of videos about how CHS will handle payments to vendors paid by credit cards or paying the credit card. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about, we've now posted some entries, charges, etc., and we want to reconcile our credit card account on our books to a statement that we received from the credit card company. So this video will be about reconciling your credit card ledger or your credit card payable account to your statement so that you can be sure you've got all charges posted that are on your statement, etc., and that you tie to the statement. So I'm going to click Credit Card Ledgers, and I'm going to select the credit card vendor that we set up, the credit card account Discover Card, and I'm going to continue to open the ledger for that particular credit card. Now, if you'll notice over here on the right, there's some reconciliation tips. Let's play like we've gotten our statement on March 10th. And we did see that on the statement, like we showed in a previous video, that they charged us a little bit of credit card fees for something, maybe interest. And we showed how to post that here. And let's just sort of play like we haven't posted this payment yet. We just want to play like these are all the entries we have, or maybe we have posted these two entries and we got our statement in the mail a little bit after the 10th. So these entries are here on our ledger, but they're not on the credit card statement. But we want to look at our credit card statement, see if there's any other charges that we don't have posted yet, and get tied to that also, and go get those posted. But we want to see if we tie to our credit card statement, if our ledger does. Now, I actually don't. I have 2 or 3 credit cards, and I post my charges, and then I just go look at the balance in my GL account for that and see if it ties to the statement. And I actually don't spend time check marking these as on statement, but the tool is here to do that. A lot of people probably have a lot more. I usually get my statement, then I sit there entering all my charges from the statement, then I check to see if the balance is the same as mine, and I don't really worry about check marking these. But some people need to use these to help them tie to the credit card statement that they got. So this says click search. If you've had a lot of previous charges, you want to click search. To do this reconciliation, you would click your search button and you would select as being marked as check marked as on statement. You'll say I want no, and I want them just through maybe that March 10th statement date, because that's the cutoff date, and so you just want to see your records through that date. So I will submit a search. You'll notice the 2 records that we posted on the 12th are no longer here, and if we hadn't posted this payment, all we would see would be these that haven't been check marked. But then what you will do, this will find outstanding unchecked entries up to the date so that you've got your big long credit card cleared out based on a search, is that you then set up here a statement date first, because CHS needs to use what you set here as it's going to mark as on statement and then show a statement date when we start check marking these. So you need to tab after you do that so it holds on to it. And then you start check marking things that are on the statement. The 3 of these together are probably on the statement as one total. You might have to figure that out, because we did a peculiar one where we had sales tax and we had a discount deduction. So you might have to look at those, see if they total to something you see on your credit card statement for ProBuild. So if I do, and you could use your search tools just to help you do that. You can search for just the ones on March 2nd, because you can see those and see. Let me just do it. Entry dates on March 2nd. I get a little sidetracked, but I think some of these help you understand. What if I just search for just those for a minute? Because you'll notice these totals start changing to be the total of records. So these total charges of 11,422.19 might have shown up as one amount on your credit card statement. You could check that. Then you could check those all off as being on the credit card statement. And you'll notice it's using the date as the statement date when I check mark them as being on there. But let's just go back now. We say, well, we want all of the charges that still aren't check marked through this date. And we'll just leave the from date empty. And as on statement, no, and we'll resubmit our search, see if there's some others. Those that I check marked went away because I was just asking for ones not on there. And this is the only other charge that we see on our statement. So I'm going to check mark that as being on statement. And then I'm going to refresh and clear my search for a minute so I bring back all the records. So now you'll see I have all these check marked as being on statement. And like I said, we're playing like we've got the statement, we haven't done this payment yet. But so that since all of these are check marked, and you might have a bunch of previous ones from other times check marked, if you did a search just for the ones that have been check marked, then the balance we end up here should be the same as the balance on our credit card statement. So let's try that. Let's clear our search fields out, and then let's say I only want all the records that have been check marked as on statement. Yes. And I submit my search. So now, and it might show any from previous months, etc., but it's going to total them up, all the ones you've check marked in the past and now. And the balance, actually, if you're reconciled, should be the same as this balance here, 11,445. If it's not, then you need to start searching for ones you either didn't check mark, or ones that you haven't posted yet, or ones you did post and it's not on the credit card statement, so they're not marked. But that's basically, it's just sort of a simple checklist that you can check off charges that are on the statement to help you tie to the credit card statement. You could always print a results report here, a credit card ledger that you attach to the statement to show how your credit card balance tied to the statement if you like. Just because, and store it somewhere with your credit card statement. But that's about how simple it is to do reconciling. Those check boxes are there if you need to use them. Let's uncheck them for a minute because I'll show you another tool. And there's a little bit of an issue if I use this feature. Let's clear our search fields, submit our search so that we have all of them back so we can just kind of look at them. But there is a tool, and quite often you'll be doing this before you posted this payment. Me demoing this payment ahead of the reconciliation is causing me a little problem. It's dated March 10th. But notice that there is a tool. Say you have a bunch of them, you've looked at it, you know it all matches, and you don't want to do these check marks one at a time. There is a tool to check mark all records through a certain date. So I would be wanting to maybe do that. It's actually going to check mark our payment also, but we're going to clear through that date, and we want it to use the 3/10/2016 as the credit card statement date. So it's doing that instead of you doing it here. I submit this, it's refreshing, and you can see how it's check marked everything through the date I told it to check, and then it's put a statement date of 3/10/2016 on it. We'll uncheck that one because actually that payment probably won't show up till the next statement where you'd be check marking it off. It'd be on the next statement. But that's a fast way to check mark a bunch of them as of a certain date if you need to do that. So hopefully you get a little bit of the concept of reconciling to your credit card statement if you need to. It becomes really, some people, various people from the field bring in little credit card slips, credit card charges, and you sit there posting them, and maybe they forgot to bring you one, etc. So it becomes real handy to tick off the ones that you have posted compared to your credit card statement. Now, say that you realize that you included this on, that you put the date of, maybe you're doing your reconciliation all the way into April and you just used an April date, but really it cleared on a previous date, and you realize you need to change the statement date for a cleared record. You would just uncheck it and then resupply a date for the statement date up here, and then recheck it so that it would put this date that you put up here in here. So that's what that bottom part is about. So basically all of these tips over on the right are about what I just showed you about reconciling your credit card account. And it's about as simple as that. Like I say, I don't even actually use those tools. I just get my stuff posted and I go see that my credit card payable account ties to my statement, and I keep going. But you could, or if you had a whole bunch and you'd never done the reconciliation, you could just use the tools to check mark them all off through a certain date that does make it tie, and then do a search just for the checked ones and make sure it's tying with your credit card balance forward. In our next videos about credit cards, we will be talking about how to edit ones that maybe you posted wrong or have the wrong amount, etc., or how you remove some things from the credit card ledger that shouldn't be there, and so on. So while you're doing your reconciliation, you might spot some of that, and you might need to use some of the tools for editing that are over here that we will be discussing in the very next video. And thank you for watching.